I believe we should be live. So guys, what's up? Welcome to Chibind Brothers. My name is Joel. And so basically today we will be talking about a couple different things. So we will basically be jumping into Bitcoin and we will look at the Bitcoin chart. And then we will also look at the breaking news that just came out today about Bitcoin with the new Bitcoin ETF that was approved. And then we will look into Ethereum and we'll perform some technical analysis on Ethereum. And after that, I will be jumping into Mara and I will be giving you exactly what I am thinking about Mara and basically what I did today with my portfolio about the Mara stock. So I will be waiting a little bit here just to see if we got a few people to come into the live. And so I hope that I will be providing you with enough value in this video. So guys, if this helps you in any way, please allow me to ask you to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn the notification bell, as it helps us with our YouTube algorithm to basically get our message to a wider audience. So guys, first thing that I'm going to start doing here is I will be jumping into, I'll be sharing my screen and so you can see what's going on. So let's go. Now guys, here is the chart of Bitcoin. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom in a lot more into Bitcoin. And if some of you were in here the last time my brother and I did the live, I basically kind of laid out what my expectation as far as what I was expecting with the chart of Bitcoin to be moving within the next weeks, within the next days. And we did our first live was, I believe, on Tuesday. So here guys, what's really interesting here is I'm going to start by showing you guys what I showed you basically last time. So here we basically have this channel. And actually, you know what? I'm going to first zoom out of this. And so as you can see, I have basically the chart here. And when you compare this right here versus what I have right here, there are some very similarities, right? You can see the price going up, come back down, going up, come back down within basically a certain channel, right? And that right there is very important because we're seeing a pattern, a repeatability pattern that is happening in this chart right here. So we can basically kind of use the analogy that we saw previously to what we are seeing here. So guys, now just look at this, right? We saw the price go up, came back down, we saw the price go up. And then last week, what I was saying is that there might be some strong resistance up here, that what I was maybe expecting was that the price would have probably, basically corrected from there all the way down here before going back up to go test the all-time high. But that's not what's happening. And actually what is happening is that resistance is basically, getting broken. Since yesterday into today, we're seeing how basically Bitcoin was piercing above $60,000 level. And as you can see right now, guys, we are trading at about $61,400. And so guys, as I go on the 1 hour chart, because I really want to be able to pinpoint and show you guys exactly, the top of where Bitcoin actually reached today. And as you can see, this is my candle and there is this, this wick. And as you can see, the top of the week was at about almost $62,944. So Bitcoin almost topped out at $63,000 today, guys, before, correcting back down a little bit. So guys, this is really, really, really exciting. And I'm really excited to see this because guys, since we came back from the correction that we saw back in April all the way to now, we see that Bitcoin is recovering and we're seeing the moves that is happening right now. And so this is really good. And I believe probably by Monday, honestly, but probably by Monday, we should be able to, probably reach $65,000, maybe even go above that because the momentum that is going on in this market right now is pretty crazy. And usually when, from what I've seen, especially in 2021, is that we usually get some of the big moves happening on we would get some of the big moves happening on Bitcoin, usually over the weekend, guys. And that right there is pretty crazy. And so I'm seeing a potential of this actually reaching the all-time high somewhere about $65,000, guys. So as we are going back into the chart right here, so what I'm going to do is I'll go back to the day chart. And as I'm going back to the day chart, guys, so last thing that I'm going to try to show you guys on the chart right here is, since we are staging this breakout right here, we see this long, day candle, right? The next thing that would be even better is down here we see RSI. I'm going to bring this up a lot higher. We see RSI. RSI is a little above 70. Right now it's like 73. So RSI is getting overextended, getting a little bit oversold right here. So that means, we're kind of getting into basically uncharted territory, which means we kind of have to be a little bit more careful. And, so as we have to be a little bit more careful, but the thing with Bitcoin too, or just crypto in general is, they can stay oversold for quite amount of time, right? For a long time. So I'm not saying that, he's going to crash and correct. But all I'm saying is, at high RSI like this, we have to be careful, but it can stay overbought for quite some time. So the next thing that we need here is, what do we need to see? So since we have this candle right here, we need the next candle by tomorrow to basically open up above this first candle. So I'm going to trace that, right? We want another candle, another green candle to open somewhere here and then close above there. And that would basically be the last confirmation that we are breaking out. And all the way up here, we will basically be reaching that, all-time high. So guys, basically, there is so many things that are also fueling what is going on right now in the market. And personally, I didn't believe when we went into a correction, I didn't believe that we were going into a bear market. I just thought that it was a correction. And, my thesis on that is basically playing out right now as we saw, and we're seeing Bitcoin recovering. So what's basically fueling this recovery? One of the things is, guys, the chart is basically telling us that we were going into a recovery because of this golden cross that we saw back here last month. This was on about somewhere in mid-September, right? So that right there was kind of telling us like, hey, this is coming, we're going somewhere. So then from here on, but right now, there is a massive Bitcoin news that came out today. So let's jump into this. This says the SEC approves Bitcoin ETF, opening crypto to wider investor base. Guys, this is massive. And I'm telling you, and I cannot stress this enough, this is massive. So as we are seeing now the SEC approving a Bitcoin ETF, before I even go into explaining and reading more of, what is going on as far as this article is reporting, what is an ETF, guys? An ETF is basically an electronic traded fund. It is traded on the stock market. And basically what ETF do is basically ETF try to mimic the performance of, let's say, a fund or a basket of stocks. So for example, in this case, when we go into the stock market, for example, and we look at the S&P 500, right? You can have an S&P 500 ETF like the SPY. That one is an ETF that is tracking the performance of the S&P 500 or the index fund of of these 500 biggest companies in America, right? So basically, with these ETF, what they do is they will basically, the way they try to mimic the performance of these indexes is by actually trying to buy the companies that are within those indexes, and then they will allocate a certain amount of that money within those small companies, and then they will hold them, and then that will be basically the way how they use it to mimic, the performance of the S&P 500. And sometimes you can also have ETF that try to mimic the performance of other real world assets. For example, you can have ETF that try to mimic the performance of like gold. So, and that's why we have ETFs such as GLD, or we have other ETF such as SLV, which mimics the performance of silver. But here, guys, we're going to have an ETF that will basically mimic the performance of Bitcoin. And this is massive. And the reason why it's massive, because an ETF means institutional investing and big money. So, guys, I'm not going to waste too much time on this. So let's jump into reading the exact article and what it's reporting. After years of trial and error by would-be fund sponsors, cryptocurrency investing is finally opening up to the masses with the first ever US approval of a Bitcoin exchange traded fund. So guys, we basically have this right here. And here it says the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, green-lighted Bitcoin futures ETF in a first for the industry on Friday, after the regulators' 5 commissioners met on the issue. ProShares, which filed for its Bitcoin strategy ETF this past summer, may be the first to launch next week. And then here it goes on to say, the company filed a post-effective amended prospectus on October 15, stating its filing is expected to launch on Monday, October 18. Though the fund may not begin trading immediately. Guys, this is big. So this could start, basically be launching on next Monday, right? And then, like it's saying right here, it may not start trading immediately, but, within sometime next week, we will have this thing trading, right? And for them to have this trading, they will start buying Bitcoin, and Bitcoin basically contract or futures contract. And here it says proponents of a Bitcoin ETF believe okay guys, what's going on with my mouse? Sorry, something is wrong with my mouse. Oh boy. Okay. Oh man, I guess I'm having some technical difficulties, but okay, it's working again. Proponents of a Bitcoin ETF believe the product will be more widely accessible for individuals interested in Bitcoin than the actual cryptocurrency, by giving investors a regulated alternative to the underlying digital asset. The first product will track Bitcoin futures rather than the price of Bitcoin directly. So this right here will be a little bit different, right? Normally, ETF actually track the underlying asset price, but here it's not going to be tracking exactly Bitcoin, but it will be tracking the Bitcoin futures. But futures are basically, these are contracts, right? On contracts on Bitcoin, right? You buy them, they have an expiration date, very similar to trading options. So it says here, rather than the price of Bitcoin directly. However, the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, indicated he believes futures-based product might provide stronger investor protections due to the laws under which they operate. So, guys, basically, as we can see here, they're giving out details as to what this entails exactly, as far as what is going to be included in this Bitcoin ETF. And guys, this is one of the reasons why we're seeing Bitcoin skyrocketing right now. It's because as we're looking at this, right, and people are looking at this and people are saying that, okay, so if this would be now traded, the ETF will be traded in the stock market, this will basically bring a lot of money in the crypto market, because now institutions like ProShares, these are big corporations with billions of dollars, And, with more people who are interested into buying cryptocurrencies, but maybe they feel, some type of way, to go in and learning exactly how to maybe opening up a Coinbase account or maybe opening up a Gemini account and all that, it might be overwhelming for them. But traditional investors like our parents, for them, it might be easier for them to just buy a Bitcoin ETF in their stock portfolio, guys, right? In their 401ks, in their what is this other one called, the Roth IRAs, or whatever type of plan they may have, right? And so this is really the bullishness that is happening in the market, and that is fueling the price of Bitcoin to be basically skyrocketing, as we're seeing right now. And guys, as I can tell you guys, once Bitcoin goes above $65,000, guys, the sky is the limit. So one of the next thing that I wanted to talk about here is we're going to jump into Ethereum. Actually, you know what? Before we jump into Ethereum, I would like to talk about Mara. So my brother has been making Mara videos lately, a lot of videos for some of you that will be maybe in this live stream right now, or for some of you that, will be watching this live stream later on, is as we can see here with the price of Mara, guys, as Bitcoin has been going up and as Ethereum is going up, because Mara is a Bitcoin and Ethereum miner, right? And since these, their business is kind of, linked with Bitcoin and linked with Ethereum, it's basically mimicking and following the price pattern of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as we can see here today, Mara actually right now, it's trading at about $48.96, guys. It almost going all the way up to, almost reaching this top resistance today. And, as far as what I did today is, guys, I've been in Mara for quite some time. I bought Mara back in I believe in like January here. And then I sold some, somewhere around here. And then we went into this correction. And then I bought back some from sometime, between May all the way to here. I kept accumulating some more. And as we got all the way up here, and I had about, what was my average price again? My average price was about 22.6 on Mara with all the shares that I owned. And I went from 22.6 to all the way to about 48.5. And by 248.5, I was already almost doubling my money by that point. No, yeah, I was basically doubling my money by this point. And today, this was a hard decision for me to make. But I basically decided to sell my position on Mara. And this is only me. I believe my brother probably still has his position on Mara, but I decided to sell my position just because I felt like it was about time for me to take profit, because hey, we're getting to a resistance here, and some other traders will probably be selling up here too. I'm not saying that I'm getting bearish. No, guys, I'm still very bullish on here. But hey, I just decided to take my tendies, and then I will maybe wait for another pullback, and then I'll come back in and ride it back up. I'm not saying it's gonna happen anytime soon though. So if it doesn't happen, hey, this is not financial advice, and I didn't tell you to do that. I'm just telling you what I did with my money. You get to decide what you do with your money. So now, okay, so what we're going to do now is, I think that I will be, moving on into talking about Ethereum. So we're going to move on to Ethereum. Okay, let me see here. I've got some few people here watching. Hey, Naomi, what's up? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So now, I have the chart of Ethereum right here. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me get rid of this. So I have the chart of Ethereum right here. And guys, as I said in my in the live, giveaway streams that I did with my brother on Tuesday was Ethereum was staging an ascending triangle, right? And we can see here, because an ascending triangle is basically, you see this top resistance up here, and then you see the support, and you basically see the price basically kind of, going between, the support, hitting the resistance, comes back to hit the support, goes to hit the resistance. And then, as I was saying last time, was if Ethereum doesn't break above right here, it would probably keep going on all the way. It basically reached the apex of this triangle, and then usually this is a bullish indicator, and it will usually probably break out. But hey, we actually didn't have to go within this kind of what I was kind of highballing could have been, it could have happened. We actually just broke above right here. And as I'm zooming in more, you know what, let me change the time frame. I'm going to change this time frame to, oh, I see Evan in the chat. Hey bro, what's up? Thanks for being here. And so I'm going to change this to let's see, I'm gonna go on the 2-hour chart. And as I'm going on the 2-hour chart, and this is a lot more clear, guys, because we see here how basically Ethereum broke above this resistance, and it's going, and something that is really bullish, this big candle, right, just pierced through, boom, we go up, and then we see the next candle opening above the eye of the previous candle, and then closing above the eye of that, and then the next candle we see here, boom, boom, boom. That right there, guys, is bullish. So I am expecting Ethereum now to go pretty much test the previous all-time high. So as I'm going to be going back to the day chart right here, so I'm expecting Ethereum to go test the all-time high all the way above at about 4,500, and some change depending on whichever exchange that you're looking at. And so yeah, guys, this is what is going on in the market right now. So for some of you that are in the live right now, if you got some questions, please drop your questions in the chat, as I may take a few questions before I hand this live, but I just wanted to come on here and provide you guys with basically the news and what I'm seeing in the market. This is basically our second live on this channel, as we did our first with my brother, and then this is my first live that I'm actually doing by myself. So guys, we will be, you guys should expect that we will be doing some lives like this every once in a while. At some points we may actually have a more structured way of doing these, but for now we're just going to be doing this when we feel like it's important, especially like today with all the news that is happening in the market right now. So yeah, man. Okay, so I have a question up in the chat here. It says, Mara and Hut have been printing me some good tendies. Lol, just heard your bit on it. Yeah, I mean, guys, for real, I've been making money on Mara. I just happened to sell my position this morning just because I felt like, I want to take my money. But the problem too was, it was really hard for me to sell Mara. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And I even texted my brother this morning. I was like, dude, I just sold Mara, but it feels like a breakup, man. It felt like I was breaking up with something. My heart is still broken. My heart is still broken from selling Mara because, you still have that feeling of like, man, he might keep going up. He might keep going up. I may make a little bit more money. But hey, sometimes if you want to take your money, you take your money, you move on to something else. You may have an opportunity of coming back or moving on into something else. But yeah, man, it really felt like a breakup this morning, and it was really, really crazy. And I texted my brother, and we just kind of laughed this morning. But yeah, so Evan, I'm glad that Mara and Hut's been making you some money. I haven't actually had the chance of looking a lot more in depth in Hut. HUT, but I've seen a couple videos on YouTube so far, and yeah, I don't really know much about it, so I'm not really gonna give much comment on that. But maybe I'll be looking into it, and I might be doing an actual video on it later on in the future. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, guys, so that's all I had for you guys today. Oh, okay, so I have another comment here. It says I should have sold some today as well. I'm 100 shares deep right now, but I'm for sure trying to sell before it reaches a resistance. Average price for me is around 40. Yeah, man, that's pretty good. I mean, it looks like you kind of been you've been dollar cost averaging in. That's good. I mean, right now it's at 48, so you're up, about, maybe like, 8%, something like that. So I mean, it's good. There's definitely what's the word again? Potential to make money here. And for people who have been watching this channel, people who have been keeping up with my brother's videos, they know we've been talking about this all along. We've been talking about this. I don't know ever since when. We keep talking about it. We're posting about it on Instagram, and hey, it's paying off. I'm glad that Haven is making money, and I'm pretty sure there are some other people who are not in the chart right now who are also making money because they've been watching us. Like, for example, another thing, like this morning, there is one of my friends who's been watching me too. He sent me he basically sent me a text message. This is the first message I woke up to this morning, right? And he was saying like, dude, I watched your video talking about Bitcoin and what you were saying you were expecting, and it's literally going as you said, man. And he just said thank you, and he's glad that he's making money, and he didn't even realize what it did. But that right there for me it's something that made my day, because I woke up, I'm like, guys, this is why my brother and I are doing this. It's because we want to help you make money, help us make money, and all of us, to be able to make more money, to be able to educate each other about the markets, about how we can maximize instead of just saving our money, we can maximize our savings by investing our money. So guys, thank you for being here. I really appreciate y'all. And so I have another. So Heaven is saying, I'm also wondering why Riot is not doing as well as Mara. Used to cost more than Marathon, but now it's in the high 20s. Yeah, man, it's crazy that Riot is undervalued right now. And the thing here is, because when you look at Riot's only basically focuses on mining only Bitcoin, I believe. I may be wrong. Please, if I'm wrong, check me on that in the comments. But I believe that's what Riot does. Riot only mine Bitcoin. But Mara mines both Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So there might be some thing that is going on there with both Bitcoin recovering and Mara recovering, and probably even FOMO, because some people are seeing that, hey, this one is going up more than this other one. So, everybody go into the one that's going up more because they want to make money. But I still believe that Riot is a dormant giant right now. Is a dormant elephant. It's going to roar. It's going to basically, elephants don't roar, but whatever. Lion roars, but you know what I mean. Whatever. It's going to wake up at some point. That's basically what I meant to say. The elephants will wake up at some point, and when the elephant wakes up and move, you're gonna feel it. So all I'm trying to say is, for people who are seeing Riot right now, you can come in and buy more. Actually, as a matter of fact, I believe some of my profits that I took out of Mara today will be going into Riot. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not telling you to buy. This is not financial advice. That's what I'm doing with my money. But hey, you get to decide if you want to do that. But actually, I'm going to put some of my money into Riot because I still believe that Riot is going to wake up at some point, and it has to play catch up to Mara. It has to play catch up to Bitcoin. And that right there will be some explosive gains. And so I just realized that I've been talking about Riot and I wasn't even showing the chart. So as I'm showing you the chart right now, this is the chart of Riot right here. And something that is really interesting is, back in March, April, what we saw was that Riot was actually going up much more than Mara, and Mara was kind of lagging, right? And then they both dropped after we went into a correction. And then now we see that, Mara is actually outperforming Riot, right? So it's like they're doing turns. But hey, this is a dormant elephant. Don't sleep on this one. Don't sleep on this one. I'm not sleeping on this one. I know my brother is not sleeping on this one. I know I'm going to be balls deep into this thing, and we're all into this thing. So I have another comment here. Naomi says, please, what's Mara, Riot, and Hot? I'm not familiar with the terms. Okay, so these are stocks. And the Mara, Riot, and Hot, those are tickers of stock. For example, when you look at Apple, right? The Apple company, you know, it's traded on the stock market. It has a ticker symbol, right? For the ticker symbol for Apple is AAPL. So for example, this right here, it says AAPL. That right there is the stock of Apple. So Mara, Riot, and Hot are also stocks of other or cryptocurrency mining companies. That's what they are. So thanks for sending that question in. Does anybody have any question before I think I've been in this live for about half an hour now. I'm probably gonna stop doing this. So does anybody have a question? Actually, I just realized something. I wasn't sharing my screen. I was talking out of, oh boy. Y'all understand, man. This is my first live by myself. Okay, so let me just kind of recapitulate what I said. I was talking about Riot, and so this is the chart of Riot. As you can see here, basically Riot is underperforming Mara. And this is what I showed on Mara. I believe y'all see this because I remember that I was sharing this. And then the next thing that I wanted to show is Apple, as I was explaining Apple to Naomi. It's right here. You can see AAPL. This is what I mean. When I click on here, this is the chart of Apple or the stock of Apple. And Apple right now is trading at about $144. So I hope this comes in. I'm sorry. I forgot that I wasn't sharing the chart right here so you could see exactly what I was trying to say. And I have another question coming in here by Peter. It says, what's the call for Riot, or which one are you buying? I actually just spoke about this, Peter. I took my money out of Mara this morning, and I'm going to be rotating some of that money into Riots because I already have a Riot position, but I'm going to be adding a lot more to Riots, and then I'm going to be taking that money and be buying something else. But definitely don't sleep on Riot. I believe Riot is a dormant elephant that is going to wake up at some point, and when it wakes up, when it moves, you're gonna feel it move. You're gonna feel it. So that's basically my intake on these stocks going so far. Does anybody else have a question? Last call before I hand this live. So please let me know if anybody wants anything else that I would reply before we move on, and I will call it a day. So guys, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, Evan, see you. And okay, so I think yeah, I think we're good. So guys, I will be making another video, last basic announcement. As an announcement, I'll be making a video. I'm not sure exactly, I'm still thinking, but I'll be making a video probably talking about Polkadot. As Polkadot, we saw Polkadot this week just going massively crazy on the chart. So I'll be making a video about Polkadot, and will share my insight as to what I think about Polkadot and where it may be going. So that video will be going live on Sunday morning, like just as always has our usual programming on the channel. So now thanks to y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. And I hope that in the future we will have more of these lives, more interactions. And so I'm really, really, really grateful to have y'all here and y'all following us. That really means a lot to me. So thank you, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye-bye.